Can you hear that? That's right, it's the time of year when leather-clad elves jump on their still steeds in support of Santa and Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Saturday, November 6th, their 41st year, they ride for the kids. The granddaddy of North Carolina toy runs, the Smoky Mountain Toy Run. Participants gather at the Kier-Fott Corporation parking lot near Black Mountain starting at 10 a.m. and the parade departs for downtown Asheville at 1 p.m. Get more info at
This is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, Titans running back Derrick Henry will undergo foot surgery. Coach Mike Vrabel says there's no timetable for his return. Henry, the NFL's leading rusher, on the short list of MVP candidates. If he's out for the season, it's a devastating loss for the Titans, explains ESPN's Louis Riddick.
The passing game really flows off of Derrick Henry, how Derrick Henry benefits from the passing game when it's rolling like it has been the past couple of weeks. I mean, that's just huge, man. I mean, you're talking about an MVP candidate. You're talking about a guy who's just a very unique offensive weapon, a guy who he's the engine down there in Tennessee.
Louis Riddick on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. The Titans signing free agent Adrian Peterson to the practice squad with the expectation he'll be added to the active roster. Saints quarterback Jameis Winston has a torn ACL. His season is over. The Saints don't plan to bring in a new QB. Ahead of tomorrow's NFL trade deadline, the Rams finalizing a trade to acquire 7-time All-Pro linebacker Von Miller from the Broncos for 2 second-day 2022 draft picks, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword Bill to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Bills to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. It is a Monday afternoon, and we've got news all over the place.
I mean, at least it's been a boring day.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have an MVP front runner that's going to miss the rest of the year. You don't have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL trading team.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we do. We got news all over the place. Derrick Henry, 8 weeks, it looks like, is going to be the timetable on his return for the Tennessee Titans. He's going to have surgery on his foot. Injured yesterday in the game against the Indianapolis Colts, and stupidly, he went back into the game.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel can't help himself. He just can't. He just looks at Derrick Henry and goes, well, what else am I going to do?
Exactly.
If I don't have Derrick Henry, I can't wait to see what this offense looks like. Run Derrick Henry. He's in street clothes. Uh-oh.
Can't do it.
Punt. Mike gets first down. I don't care. I don't know what else to do.
No, they're going to have a backup plan. The backup plan is Adrian Peterson.
That's not a backup plan.
All day, baby.
2014 called. They want their plan back.
Adrian Peterson has been brought in to fill the hole left by Derrick Henry's absence.
Adrian Peterson is what Derrick Henry would look like if you bought him on Wish.
Aw.
Of all the things you could do, how many ideas did you have to bounce off before you went, hey, you remember that running back that was really good 10 years ago? Let's sign him.
Oh, come on now. He's done an admirable job in the last few years.
Has he, though?
What, he had like 700 yards or something like that a year or so ago with the Washington football team?
Whoa.
2 years ago?
700 yards. What will you do with a running back that averages 47 yards a game?
You know, I mean, he could still do it.
Adrian Peterson's a player the Detroit Lions looked at and went, "That we're good. We can figure out somewhere else to find those."
And that, my
600
friends,
yards a
should
year.
tell you everything you need to know.
By the way, tomorrow Tank will be paying off the wasabi bet. Tomorrow's sushi day here in the Sportsocracy. That's never going to stop being funny to me. Oh, Tank won this week and beat the Chief. Oh, did he? Did you?
I did, and I whipped you. I whipped you both.
Did you, though?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you won more games than us, but really, are you not taking a big old loss? Does that feel like you're taking a big old loss?
Oh, there's no doubt I'm taking a big loss. I'm going to have to pay off on the bet because, yeah, like Jeremy said, you know, he likes to make up the rules as he goes along. And when we picked the Detroit game, I talked enough smack that he went, "Yep, that's our bet of the week." Well, and by the way, we're going to do this bet of the week thing, and we're going to have to do something that you don't want to do. What's the one thing you don't want to do? It's like eat wasabi. He's like, okay, that's the thing you're going to have to do when the Detroit Lions get killed by the Philadelphia Eagles, which they did.
In the words of Heath Ledger's Joker, well, that's the rule you're going to have to break.
Never mind the fact that I got all of the other games that we differed on. The Seattle Seahawks, the Tennessee Titans, and the Denver Broncos. I went 3-1 this week, and I have to do the punishment. Somebody please explain to me how that's fair.
Well, because you come at the king, you best not miss. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, we welcome everybody into the program. Hit us up on YouTube. We are streaming the show live on YouTube every weekday afternoon. Now, you can not only hear us, but see our beautiful faces, interact with us immediately on the exchange here, on the little chat inside the YouTube. And yes, you have to hit the subscribe button to be able to chat with us. It's a genius little tool that YouTube gives us.
Every once in a while, I come up with a decent idea.
Right. We have a lot of fun in the comment section each and every day, so be sure to hit us up there. And, of course, the first hour of the program, as always, brought to you by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. And, we got Derrick Henry's going to be gone for 8 weeks. And the Los Angeles Rams, apparently money just doesn't mean anything to them. They're like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the West Coast.
L.A. Rams, where the salary cap doesn't matter, or where the salary cap's made up and the draft picks don't matter. Do you realize that they will go 8 years without a first-round pick?
Yeah.
That is insane. And they're one of the best teams in the league.
Right.
As somebody that covers the draft, I do not like this precedent that we're setting.
Listen, I've always felt this way. Like, draft picks to a certain extent are overrated, especially if you're one of the teams that's the best in the league and you're picking at the bottom of the draft. Your draft picks at that point become expendable. Expensible
is
expensible
what our
is
lunch was.
different.
That's expensible.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll give you an update on that in the next hour.
Yeah, I mean, this is a home run for the Rams.
No doubt.
I mean, now you have Von Miller coming off the edge and Aaron Donald coming up the middle. That's terrifying. Oh, and by the way, you have Jalen Ramsey on the backside. Well, that's not bad. That's just not bad at all.
Right.
So, and when this broke, I got a lot of, Von Miller's not even healthy. Who cares? Yeah, who cares? Will he be healthy for the playoffs?
Bingo.
That's all I care about. I don't care if he plays one down in the regular season.
No, because if Sean McVay has not taught you anything, this does not matter. The run-up to the playoffs and all of that, as long as you can still put the best product possible out there on the field, none of it matters. Don't play your players in the preseason. If you get up 38-0 on the worst team in history, then you know what? We can just sit everybody for the fourth quarter. We don't need to continue to do this as they did yesterday against the Houston Texans. I'm giving up every draft pick I possibly have to accrue assets that will help me win now. I'm not interested, if I'm Sean McVay, in a project, 28th overall pick of a safety who I'm going to have to groom for years. I don't need to mess with it. if I can get an impact player right now. And that's what he's done with Von Miller.
And this is an imitation league. I mean, that's just the way the NFL works. When somebody does something that works, you will see others try it. There's only one thing about the Rams that I don't think people really realize.
Okay.
This was asked in the comments on our YouTube stream. How many players that the Rams have did they actually draft? It's way more than you think. Way more. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. Of their 22 down-in, down-out starters, how many of them do you think did not come through the draft?
Did not come through the draft?
Did not come through the draft. And I'm already I'm already adding in Von Miller here.
I would say at least 15.
It's 7.
That's it?
It's 7. Every other player that they start down in, down out was drafted to this team. Drafted by this team. The only ones that weren't were Robert Woods,
right,
high impact wide receiver,
right,
Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle, Austin Corbett, Matthew Stafford, A'Shawn Robinson, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. There's actually 8. Leonard Floyd, I forgot about him. That's 8. So 14 of your 22 starters were drafted by this team. If you want to do what the Rams are doing, all the power in the world to you.
Right.
You better have a Brad Holmes that can hit 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. Because if you don't, you're going to look like the Kansas City Chiefs real fast. Because the Chiefs, you can say the same thing about them. A lot of their high-impact players came through trades, free agency, whatever the case may be. The bulk of that team was drafted. Difference is, Rams have drafted really well, Chiefs have drafted really poorly. The Chiefs spent a 3rd-round pick on Mecole Hardman. The Rams spent one on Cooper Kupp. Advantage Rams. Right. Aggressively.
Right. Wow. I mean, I'm looking over this myself. And
the Rams have
shocked.
Killed the draft.
I'm absolutely shocked that that's how many guys were drafted by this team, realizing that they haven't had draft picks to use.
But look at where they've done it.
Right.
Look at what they've added. All right, they added a quarterback. It's hard to draft quarterbacks.
Right.
They added a high-impact receiver that wanted out of Buffalo in Robert Woods. Whitworth, who's a high-end left tackle that was tired of losing in Cincinnati. Leonard Floyd. Now Von Miller. Jalen Ramsey. All you did was go cherry-pick the most important positions and go, well, we're not going to miss that.
Right. Every other guy on that list, I mean, there's 6, 5. What do they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-round pick guys.
Yep.
There's a 5th-round pick, 4th round. They've done really well in those day 2 trades.
And that is why the draft matters. Yeah. You want to know why we talk about the draft for 3 months after the season ends? Because of this.
Yeah.
Because now the Los Angeles Rams are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I just would be remiss if I didn't point out that my Super Bowl going into this season was the L.A. Rams and the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Now, halfway through the season, if I had to bet an amount of money that mattered to me,
right,
my Super Bowl would be the L.A. Rams and the Buffalo Bills. But this is what you can do.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me 5 years ago that there would be a team that literally would not pick a player in the first round of the draft from 2016 till 2014, I would say, well, that 2015 rolls around, they're going to be, or 2025, rolls around, they're going to be bad. Rams aren't. Because you've added guys like Jordan Fuller and guys like Tyler Higbee. You hit on these guys late.
Right.
And that allows you to be here.
Yeah.
I was asked how many teams probably called on Von Miller. Probably not as many as you think. Because they gave up a lot.
I mean,
a 2 and a 3 this year is a lot.
Yeah, they give up a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick, which means
their first pick is 100.
Oh, yeah.
As of right now, according to Tankathon, their first pick will be 100 because it's a comp pick in the 3rd round.
Okay.
And guess what? Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares.
No.
Because you're still getting impact players because you draft that well. And that is ultimately, I can't tell you it's going to be this year. I cannot tell you the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I will tell you this combination of players, if I had to choose a team and I had to bet my house on a team that's going to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, this is the one.
The Rams.
And it's by a lot. It's by an aggressive amount. Bills would be 2 solely because there's not another team in the AFC that's even close to them.
Right. I'm still putting some money on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to get back. Well, they're going to be good. That's
the tankiest thing I've ever heard. Tell me you want to set $100 on fire without actually doing it. Bingo.
Oh, Chiefs, you don't think they win another Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
I wouldn't bet on it. I really wouldn't. The Bills are younger than them. They're deeper than them. They draft better than them. And that's the onus of all of this. You want to know what all these teams have in common? All these really good teams, they draft really well. Baltimore Ravens have been the best drafting team in the NFL for 20 years. Have you ever noticed that they're never bad?
Right.
Baltimore is virtually never bad.
Right.
About once every 7 years, they'll have one off year where they go 8-8 or 6-10. Other than that, they're competitive every single year.
Right.
The Rams, they've been competitive since Sean McVay came to town. And they saw a problem. They looked at this roster. They said, we have a Super Bowl level team, but we have a problem. We don't have a Super Bowl level quarterback. No, fix that. Oh, teams are double teaming Aaron Donald. Cool. Let's put somebody on the outside. No, you can't do that anymore. Aaron Donald's the happiest person on planet Earth right now. Oh, you mean my matchups went from these double team wham blocks that I get constantly, and now you have the scariest pass rusher outside of Khalil Mack in the NFL?
Right. You got Von Miller on one side, Leonard Floyd on the other side. You got A'Shaun Robinson and Aaron Donald up front. Yeah, I think they're going to be able to get after some quarterbacks. I think that's going to work very, very nicely. And Von Miller is just, I mean, that's the reason he got the tattoo. He is the sack master.
He is terrifying.
I mean, I think of the last month, he's only had a half of a sack. He had 3 to start out the season in the first 3 games for the Denver Broncos. But there again, when you're the only guy, I mean, Bradley Chubb's been hurt, so we can key on him, make sure that he doesn't get in the backfield. You can't do that now that he's with the LA Rams.
Nope. And that makes this is now the most complete team in the NFL.
Agreed.
I mean, they're already destroying teams anyway. They have one loss. It was to a Cardinals team that caught them the week after they played Tom Brady. Be honest with yourself. If the Rams played the Cardinals right now, what's the line? And why is it Rams -6.5?
I was going to say Rams -7, but
I'm not giving a full touchdown.
You're not giving a full touchdown.
Mm-mm. This is where it is. Now I look at the NFL and go, and look, I'm not overreacting to anything. I fully planned on, before this trade ever broke down, I fully planned on starting this show with the Buffalo Bills are clearly the best team in the AFC. Derrick Henry's done in Tennessee. I just don't like that team without him. There's nobody that can contend with Buffalo on a down-in, down-out basis. Could somebody beat them in the playoffs? Absolutely.
Right.
It's the beauty of the NFL. You're 60 minutes away from going home at any given time. Well, now I feel the same way about the Rams in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean they're just loaded.
Every team in the NFL outside of those two has a huge pressing issue. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, your secondary is bad.
Yep. Green Bay Packers, same thing.
Your receiving core is bad.
And their secondary is not good either.
Your secondary is not good. But they're patching things together. You just go down the list and go, everybody has a hole. What's the hole in this team? You have 2 of the 5 best pass rushers in the NFL.
Right.
You have the best corner in the NFL. Arguably the best receiving core in the league. Top 10 quarterback. Top 15 running back. There's no hole. There's no way to attack this team. I mean, what are you going to do? Send 7? Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it will go your way.
Right. The LA Rams making big waves here before the trade deadline. Trade deadline coming up tomorrow, by the way. So will this be the last
does that
deal?
mean we get to do a spectacular? Is tomorrow the NFL trade spectacular?
Sure.
I'm all the way in for that.
I was going to say, will this be the last deal that you're going to see before the trade deadline is over?
I'm going to say no.
No,
I think this is
not
the biggest deal you'll see, but I could see more movement. And there's a reason for that. There's 100% a reason that you're seeing more trades right now. We'll tell you what that is after the break.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure spreading in as we go through the end of the weekend, and we're going to stay pretty quiet as we open up the month of November. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll drop it back to right around 42. Temperatures slightly on the higher side of average for the overnight. Early clouds mixing with the sun Monday, but then lots of sunshine later. 65 the high, mostly clear Monday night, mostly sunny Tuesday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I'm Colleen Wolfe from Thursday Night Football and Good Morning Football Weekend.
And I'm Ricky Hollywood from Around the NFL and the broadcast.
On our new podcast, Split Ends, Ricky and I will be coming to you every week to talk about all the important and unimportant storylines in the football world.
Join us for the stories on and off the field that matter. We'll break down games, news stories, tweets, interviews, whatever it takes to cover the ins and outs of the NFL world.
Listen to Split Ends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Switch up your personal and business phone number in less than 3 minutes with the Switch Up app. Get all the benefits of having a separate phone number without having to manage and pay for a second phone. Switch Up is built-in spam protection, unlimited calling and texting, automated replies, and custom voicemail. It's all about the work-life balance. Find out more at GetSwitchUp.com. Download today and get 40% off your first year of SwitchUp. Learn more at GetSwitchUp.com.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Right you are.
Welcome back into ESPN Asheville. It is the Sportsocracy. Find us at thesportsocracy.com. Join us live every weekday morning at 10 a.m. on YouTube. And we also have, of course, this here show streaming live every afternoon on the YouTube channel as well. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can take part in the chat.
We'll also be doing an after show for YouTube members. We now have YouTube memberships where you can get exclusive things that only come out on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there'll be 30-minute little blocks after the show 3 days a week where we just answer your questions. We'll leave the cameras on. We won't be on radio anymore, so there might be a bad word or two. But just another thing to engage us with you.
NFL trade deadline coming up tomorrow, and today there was a big blockbuster deal made. Von Miller goes from the Denver Broncos to the LA Rams. Rams giving up a 2 and a 3 in this upcoming draft. as well as going to pick up $9 million of his $9.7 million that's left on his contract this year.
He was very emotional when he found this out, too.
Well, as you would be.
Von Miller loves Denver.
You spent your entire career with one team. You've been, a franchise player. You won Super Bowl MVP with them. You got obviously a ring with them as well over the Carolina Panthers back in Super Bowl 50. He's been, the sack master. He is, since 2011, nobody else has as many sacks as he does in the NFL.
He's the face of the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we forget that.
Him and his thick-rimmed glasses.
You forget that from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
You look at a guy like Von Miller and go, oh, he has to be the happiest player on earth. Well, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's being uprooted from a community that he knows, going to L.A., and does he have the chance to win a ring? Yeah. It's still an emotional time.
No,
there are a lot of people that seem to be shocked at his response, and it was a beat writer from Denver that I guess called him and checked on him and put the video out.
Right.
He was emotional, and that's understandable.
Because you don't know where it's going to go from here.
No.
You have all these relationships with people. It's just like in any other job. I mean, sure, you get promoted from, one firm to another firm. You may be excited about what's coming, but you're going to feel some kind of, sadness about all of those relationships ending and remembering the time that you had and all of the, being ingrained in the community. And it's not like any of that stuff is going to go away. Von Miller doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's just going to pull up roots and be like, okay, I'm done with Denver, no more Denver. Denver will always be a big, big piece of his life.
Absolutely.
But, it's a sad thing. I mean, I think back to when I was originally let go here, at iHeartRadio Asheville. It was a sad time. Like, what's going to come next? Now I weaseled my way back in the building.
Yeah, and then 3 days later, people were like, wait, how did you get back in here? I thought we took your key away. I will say, if anybody's ever been fired, nobody lands on their feet like Tank Spencer.
That's true.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
It's because I'm so bottom heavy.
I agreed.
So anyway, we've had the blockbuster deal today. Obviously, we expect more trades are going to happen. It's not going to be like super fire sale and there's going to be like dozens of deals done, but there will be some.
I think you'll see a couple more player deals, and there's just a very simple reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have never in my life seen 5 teams that were so clearly better than everybody else in the NFL. This is the top heaviest the NFL's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the bottom heaviest. The bottom 4 teams in this league, look, and I'm not going to go crazy here and say, if Georgia played the Jacksonville Jaguars, they'd be a favorite, because that's stupid.
No, they wouldn't be a favorite.
I will say, this is the closest it would ever be.
Right.
It would still be a 30-point blowout, but still, the bottom of this league is horridly bad. The Detroit Lions are disgustingly bad.
Mm-hmm.
Their coach comes out yesterday and goes, "Oh, that wasn't good, was it?" No, it wasn't, and that's an interesting response to that as well.
Well, now all of the things are spinning out of control. You've got, I was just looking over the Von Miller Twitter feed. Basically, you got all these Denver Broncos fans and beat writers and everybody wondering what's coming next. Is this a sell-off point for the Denver Broncos? Are they they're just going to have a fire sale and get all these guys out of the building before the deadline comes tomorrow? And you know what? It's not a bad idea. They've got a couple of guys that would be able to fetch you something.
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon. I'm telling you right now, if the Tennessee Titans didn't at least call on Melvin Gordon, they're not doing their job correctly.
Mm-hmm.
If you just looked at Adrian Peterson and went, we're good, you did it wrong.
Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs, I could probably go on. All of those teams need to be calling about Kyle Fuller. He's been benched. Give him to us.
He's played a handful of snaps in a month.
Mm-hmm.
He should be on another team. And the Denver Broncos, I got to give you credit. This is exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos introspectively looked at themselves after that gross fest with the Washington football team yesterday and went, hey, you know what? We're not good. You know Vic Fangio's...
if losing to the Cleveland Browns B team on Thursday night didn't do it for you.
Well, losing to the fact that you could have lost to the Washington football team at home, that should have done it.
Right.
Vic Fangio has to be looking around going, well, that's not a good sign for me. I don't like that at all.
Sorry about your luck there, Vic.
Yeah, Vic, you shouldn't be employed right now. So
I was going to say, he ain't going to be around
the fact
much
that you got
longer.
an extra year, you should be thankful.
Oh, no doubt. So the Denver Broncos could be in fire sale mode, mini fire sale mode, before the trade deadline. Who else can move? I mean, I thought for sure after the Tennessee Titans had the announcement about Derrick Henry that he could be done for the season, and now we found out he's going to be gone for 8 weeks, that they would go after a running back. But
I still think they will.
They're going to go get Adrian Peterson off the
I don't think that's the
retirement
end.
pile.
I don't think that's the end of that. I'll be honest with you. I'd be calling about David Montgomery. I said that this morning.
Yeah, you did.
Khalil Herbert has been good enough. And David Montgomery is a guy that could take a lot of workload off Derrick Henry moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to run the ball this much,
you need two running backs. Yeah.
And they don't have a half of a running back if you add up the rest of the roster combined. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you're going to run the ball, if you're going to be this reliant, and I'm telling you right now, just wait till you see this offense with no Derrick Henry. You're going to see a regression that we haven't seen many like what's headed that way.
How bad do you think it could get?
For the Titans?
Yeah.
You're just not multiple anymore. So now there's nothing that you fear. The only person on this team that you fear now is A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Ryan Tannehill when he had no fear out of the backfield? Yeah, wasn't good. I know everybody blamed that on Adam Gase. It's not like he went to Tennessee and just all of a sudden found his talent that he just left in a duffel bag somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is still a flawed quarterback. And now you've taken his best asset away. The one saving grace is that division is so bad. Whew, that division's bad.
Coming off the Indianapolis Colts now, are you?
They're just not good. Carson Wentz threw the worst interception I've ever seen in my life yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first 0-yard interception touchdown return in NFL history. By the way, the rest of that division has 5 wins combined. 2 of them are against each other.
Right.
We
knew it was going to be bad. Losing Derrick Henry, that could be a death knell for the Tennessee Titans. There's no doubt about it.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
All right, the NCAA Committee on Infractions. They're back at it again. They have found a new wrongdoer. Well, not new. We all know who he is. It's former USF Bulls coach Charlie Strong, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Resolution has been announced by the NCAA that South Florida will now have to be on 3 years of probation. They're going to lose 2 scholarships as well. And if Charlie Strong decides he wants to come back and coach college football, he's going to have to serve a suspension of 1 game. He'll have to serve a suspension of 1 game if he wants to come back and coach in college football before the 2022-2023 season. Now, why are they being slapped with all of this? It's because when he was the coach there, they were using assistants who weren't technically assistants. They had people on the field that were not registered as on-the-field assistants with the team, and they were running drills, and they were running practices, and they were just supposed to be football staffers who don't have the legal authority within the NCAA rules to run practices and drills and such. It goes a little bit further than that, though. They found out that what they would do is they would have these guys who are, or gals, running practices and drills that aren't supposed to be, and they would have spotters to look out for the compliance people. And when the compliance people were coming down to the field, they had headsets on that they would radio down and go, "Oh, compliance is coming down. Drop everything." Yeah, I don't think you're going to get away with that too many times. So Charlie Strong breaking the rules. Who's shocked? And I'm sure this goes on in a lot of programs, but I just think it's hilarious that you went that deep with it. So you knew you were breaking the rules. You knew you had people running practices that you weren't supposed to, and you had a fail-safe so you wouldn't get caught by compliance. Yeah, that's definitely, what do they call it? Failure for oversight, or what do they call it?
Lack of institutional control.
Lack of institutional control. Yeah, that's it. Charlie Strong facing NCAA sanctions, but, who knows? He's probably going to have to come back and coach college football next year because he's not going to have a job in Jacksonville.
I literally feel like if you hire Charlie Strong, you should have to write a 5,000-word essay on why. Was every other coach washing their hair? Because that's the only excuse that I would accept for how you landed on Charlie Strong. We talk a lot of betting on this show. Mm-hmm. Well, something just happened after yesterday's action that's worth noting.
Okay.
Name me the favorite for MVP right now. If you had to cast a ballot for the MVP in the NFL, who would it be?
Aaron Rodgers.
He's not in the top 4.
That's crazy.
Of betting odds, he is currently not in the top 4.
That's absolutely crazy.
Kyler Murray was the favorite before this week.
Right.
He just dropped to 2.
Uh-huh.
Dak Prescott's 3.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's 4.
Yeah.
The favorite,
Matthew Stafford?
Josh Allen.
Really?
The betting favorite at 7-2, according to Caesars Sportsbook.
Okay.
I was dumbfounded when I saw this. Not that I don't think Josh Allen's been great, because he has. And he would certainly be one of the ones that I would be considering.
Mm-hmm.
He is now the betting favorite for MVP. And Aaron Rodgers is not in the top 4, which is insane to me.
That is stupid.
The chances of a guy winning back-to-back is borderline impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that there is something built into that. But I would have him over Tom Brady.
I mean, statistically, you can't.
That's the difference. I know you don't care about
statistics, but I mean that plays a big part into the MVP.
It plays a role.
Yeah, if you have all of the stats, because that's the argument against Aaron Rodgers, is that people will look and they'll go, "Oh, but his stats aren't that good." Well,
he's the only reason his team is not a complete dumpster fire.
Bingo, and that's why I would have that. That's why I would cast my vote for him at this point. I mean, just beating the Arizona Cardinals, the only reason you did that was because Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
When that kind of spells most valuable player to me. I have no problems with Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback. Should have probably won the MVP last year, but you couldn't say no to Aaron Rodgers, who threw 43 touchdown passes last year.
Yeah, I'm rooting aggressively for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because you got a slip. You got a little slip that says Josh Allen?
I have a little piece of paper that says Josh Allen's name with a plus, a much larger number than you would think.
Did you get on it when it was 1,800?
No, I wasn't that high. I got it at 1,250, I think.
Okay, that's not bad.
Which is still 12.5 to 1?
Indeed.
Yes.
I'll take it. Excellent. Okay. Derrick Carr, he's not on your MVP, or he's not in the I wonder where he's at in the MVP rankings.
I can tell you because you can go to betus.com and wager this.
Yes, you can.
Go to betus.com, use promo code SPORTSOCRACY, and they will give you 125% of your initial deposit, which means if you deposit $100, they will give you $125 in free play credits, and you can put them all on whoever you think will win MVP.
Right. And I was just 1 week shy. I was 1 week shy on my Jets +7 pick. Didn't have the gumption to go after the Jets plus the 10.5, I think it was, when we picked the games earlier this week. You told me earlier today that it got up to 11 at one point as the Jets beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
We didn't mean to.
Holy. Mike White came out of nowhere.
The fighting Mike White, the pride of Western Kentucky. And here's the thing. Here's what's so funny to me about how the NFL works. We're so immersed in the NFL that everything you see has to be the biggest or the greatest or the... You know what I took away from yesterday?
What?
The New York Jets are not one of the 4 worst teams in this league. That's it. I did not see anything else that made me go, oh, spicy hot take. We'll do power rankings Wednesday. Guess what? Cincinnati Bengals, the number next to their name, still going to be pretty low.
Yeah.
They're still arguably the best team in that division. I'll take them over the Steelers easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take them over the Browns easily. And they blew out the Ravens when they played.
Yep.
So am I going to overreact to the fact that they went on the road and lost to a quarterback that the only film on him was from college? No, I'm not. Now, did your linebacking core get unveiled a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to drastically change my opinion? No. Should it? No.
It's just baffling to me how we see this happen so often in the NFL of ex-quarterback gets hurt or new guy comes in and bam, what he's doing, just whatever it is about that guy is not what the defense was planning on seeing, and you have so many opportunities for these guys to have huge days. Now, obviously, we only saw one rookie or one guy ever make his NFL debut and do better, statistically speaking, than Mike White did, and that was Cam Newton back in his debut with the Carolina Panthers in 2011. I'm not saying you have big performances like this all the time, but it's just it's wild to me where these stories come from. You know, at one point I was sitting on my couch last night catching up on all of the football because I was on the road all day down in South Carolina doing the youth football thing and had to rush back here and, you know, get the kids ready and take them out trick-or-treating. And I was finally just able to sit down at like 10 o'clock last night. And I'm explaining to my wife how crazy this story is. That Mike White, no one knew anything about him except for Jets fans like Jeremy.
Hi. I knew things about him.
And then he comes into a game after, you know, filling in for Zach Wilson last week and wasn't good. We actually talked about at one point during the week how wasn't he the quarterback that lost you a half a point if you started him?
Yeah, he doesn't anymore.
Yeah. Vegas, according to their power rankings or whatever, they'd say Mike White is worth negative a half a point if he's on your team. And then he comes out and throws for 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, catches a 2-point conversion. He just lights up the Cincinnati Bengals, who are the hottest team in the league.
And here's the thing. What did Mike White do? No quarterback in the NFL had less air yards yesterday than Mike White.
Yeah, they kept it safe.
The longest pass he threw was 17 yards downfield. You came into this expecting Zach Wilson, who loves to go no risk it, no biscuit. I'm not saying it was predictable. I'm just saying you should not be overreacting to this. There are things that happen that you go, ooh, that is replicable.
Right.
And I saw a lot of them yesterday. There were a lot of things that I looked at and went, well, that's a little unsettling. The Bengals was not one of them. And look, I had a little bit of fun with the Bengals because I did say they could lose to the Jets in the offseason. And a lot of people told me things that I can't say on this show. So did I have a little bit of fun? I did. Was it all in good fun? Absolutely. We have some tremendous people that watch this show that are Bengals fans, and I genuinely appreciate them more than I could ever say because I love realistic fans. And you know what the vast majority of them said today? Hey, congratulations. Hey, good. That's a good win for you. And you know what I said back? And it ain't that bad of a loss for you. You'll look back at the end of the year and go, man, could you believe we lost to the Jets? Teams do this every single year.
Right.
And yet I see it as the headline on ESPN. Oh, are we wrong on the Bengals? No. So you see 7 weeks of something and then, oh, you lost to the Jets on the road. First of all, it's hard to win on the road. Second of all, you're seeing a quarterback that you have never seen before. You had no idea what this offense was going to look like. And Michael Carter was fantastic. Jamison Crowder was fantastic. The defense was good. Just, okay. It's
just one of those things that happens?
Yeah, the Detroit Lions. There's something you can take from that.
No.
You got beat 44-6 by a quarterback that can't throw.
He can run pretty well, though.
Yeah, against the Lions.
And the rest,
of
that team can as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had put on an Eagles jersey, they would have given me a couple carries in that game, and I probably would have averaged 6 yards.
So what do you say? They should have dialed up Adrian Peterson? He'd have had another career day?
It wasn't good. But I'll tell you a team that I know you've been particularly high on, and I like them. It just needs to be said. I took more from the Chargers losing at home to the Patriots than I took away from the Bengals losing on the road to the Jets. Jets are coming off a bye week. Chargers are coming off a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And you went in and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I saw? A pretty listless offense. And this is what happens in the NFL. When you get tape on quarterbacks, it becomes much more apparent what they can do and what they can't do. And so when you start throwing exotic things at them, like the Patriots did yesterday, the Patriots had one defensive set that was just driving Justin Herbert crazy. And all it was is they would switch the alignment. They would line up a corner on the receiver, they would drop him out, and a linebacker would come in the flat. And it was driving him bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you fix that? You go back and watch the tape. Is that going to help him for this year? Yeah, he'll get better as the season goes on. And next year, he'll know that's a thing teams like to do against me. How do you combat it? You start baiting them.
Right.
Oh, look at this I'm going to throw this little dinky pass out in the flat. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. There goes Keenan Allen. Bye-bye. Or Josh Palmer or Donald Parham.
Mm-hmm. I was completely shocked that the Chargers did not come out with more fire against the New England Patriots. I thought for sure that would be a perfect opportunity, and it was a perfect opportunity for them to, reestablish themselves after getting blown out like they did against the Ravens 2 weeks ago. But that happens in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it seems to happen when you play Bill Belichick.
And here's what's funny, is every week we do power rankings.
I thought they'd get a bigger
morning
reaction out of you, by the way.
Oh, God. Look, okay, I'm going to be real honest. The Jets won yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost yesterday, and the fighting Baker Mayfield's lost yesterday. You can say whatever you want to. You're just not going to flat me today.
Right.
It's not going to happen. I don't get many days to walk in here and feel like the king of the roost. Today I do, and I'm going to enjoy that.
Good.
And you know what? I saw a fight in my team that I haven't seen in quite some time. I was more invested in that Jet game yesterday than I have been in any game we played in 5 years. I think Rex Ryan was the coach the last time I got that invested.
Even more than the Titans game like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't even close. Oh, because, they had no receivers. That's a but game.
Yeah.
This is hat.
Right.
Full squad. And, there were some Corey Davis didn't play and some other ancillary pieces like that. But, yeah, that's a win you can look at and you can point at that forever. I just feel like every time things like this happen, people look at the wrong side of it. You're looking at the Bengals going, oh, what did we miss? You didn't miss anything. You missed a team that came out and said, hey, we're going to play Jamar Chase. Heads up. If you had bet that, and I don't know where you could possibly find a prop like this, how many snaps is Jamar Chase going to see one-on-one man coverage with no safety over the top? If you had bet more than 2, I would have said you were out of your mind. It was all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it threw them off. That's it.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons, I took a lot away from that. Hey, you're bad. You're as bad as we thought you were.
I think you're right. Atlanta sucks. Something awful.
They're bad. They're not good at football.
And I guess I got to go back and watch the tape because I missed it, and everything that I read and everything that I saw did not look like a good Carolina Panthers team. The defense was good, but again, how much does that lean to the Atlanta Falcons defense or offense not being good?
There was a huge difference for the Panthers yesterday, and you can box score chase, you can do all those things. You can't make up for actually watching the game as it's unfolding. I saw something with Carolina yesterday that should give all Panthers fans hope moving forward. We're doing betting segment next. After that, I'll tell you what that is.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Make sure your hands are free, because you're going to need them to win $1,000.
Awesome! Thank you so much!
At least 12 times a day, weekdays.
Oh, my God.
Keep listening for the keyword to text in to win $1,000 in your hand.
Brought to you by Cheerwine. Nothing goes better with authentic Southern food than the soft drink Cheerwine. You've never had a Cheerwine? Try some local flavor today. It's Southern Food's trusty cherry sidekick. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long with buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spyder 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Join us for Provember, going on now through November 24th. Shop in-store or at Lowe's.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money!
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's a new week, and I really need to get away from college football. Like, can college football just end? I just want to bet. From now on, I just want to bet Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and nothing else. All right, I got 4 picks for you, 2 in the NBA, 2 tonight in the NFL. The first one, the Charlotte Hornets are a 5-point favorite at home tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland is really, really, really bad. And here's what they don't do well. Stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to. This Hornets team is really good. This is not me being a homer. This is the eyeball test. That Hornet team's good. This number's not big enough. Give me the Hornets -5. The Chicago Bulls are a 2.5-point dog tonight at Boston, and that makes no sense to me. Apparently, Vegas is not watching this Boston team because they don't look good at all. The offense looks disjointed. This Bulls team is long. They score easy. I honestly think they got the plus sign mixed up. This should have been Bulls -2.5. I'll take the Bulls. I'll take them in the money line. Give me the Bulls +2.5. Tonight, Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs are a 10.5-point favorite. The over-under is 52. I'm going under this solely because I do not think the Giants are going to be a tremendous contributor to this number. This has blowout written all over it. I'm going under the 52, and I'm aggressively taking the Kansas City Chiefs minus 10.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
No, the NBA, the NFL, it's all happening. And we still got the World Series going on as well.
Yeah, you can go to betus.com, use promo code SPORTSocracy. You can bet the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball. If you do that, and I would need an explanation of why, but if you did do that, you can do all those things at betus.com. Use promo code SPORTSocracy for a 125% deposit match.
Yeah, how about a monkey knife fight? Well, let's go to monkeyknifefight.com. It's all the daily fantasy sports props you can handle. And guess what? When you sign up at monkeyknifefight.com, create yourself an account and use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K. Then we'll match your initial investment up to $50 and also give you a $5 free play, which you can use on tonight's game that's just going to rain money on you.
I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between the Memphis Grizzlies and the 2022 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
Oh, God.
I am taking more than 26.5 points for Nikola Jokic. I am taking more than 25.5 points for Ja Morant. That will take your $10 buy-in and turn it into a $36 prize.
All right, Jeremy, tell us what you saw that was good from the Carolina Panthers yesterday in the win over the Atlanta Falcons.
The difference in Sam Darnold with Amir Abdullah was enough for me to go, yeah, I wasn't wrong on this team. Chuba Hubbard is not a good NFL running back. I'm going to keep banging that drum until people realize that I'm right. Oh, he had 24 carries. Yeah, first of all, he had 86 yards or something like that.
Right.
He gives you nothing outside of carrying the ball. Mm-hmm. Amir Abdullah, on the other hand, is I'm not going to say an elite passing down back, but he's a good one. And you know what I saw when he was in the game? All of a sudden, the protections made sense. And all of a sudden, Sam Darnold could do things down the field. Did they still have drop problems? Yes. But that offense is still fine. Mm-hmm. And Sam Darnold out of the pocket is way better than Sam Darnold confined to it. And that was one of the biggest. I've been saying that for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Why it took Matt Rule that long to figure out, I have absolutely no idea. But you have to have somebody that can help him out of the backfield because he is a limited quarterback. At the end of the day, Sam Darnold is not Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. He's a limited quarterback. To me, he's a much more talented version of Baker Mayfield. So you have to support him. If you don't support him, he can look bad.
Yeah.
He didn't look particularly bad to me yesterday. Now, when he got his head knocked clean off his shoulders 2 plays in a row, that didn't look so productive. Hey, Sam, get down, buddy.
We would really love to keep running this quarterback. However, if we continue to do that and he continues to get hit like that, we won't have that ability anymore, and then we will be stuck with P.J. Walker. Which, I don't know, I guess some Carolina Panther fans are cool with that. Fire up P.J. Walker. I'm on the other side of that. I want nothing to do with P.J. Walker.
Yeah, I'm good. He's not a good NFL quarterback.
Right. Maybe a good XFL quarterback, not so much a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know.
He's not good at football.
Yeah, it yesterday wasn't the hammer spot for the Carolina Panthers that I thought it would be. I keep hoping that at some point these receivers are going to figure out how to catch the ball, but it's just not happening. I mean, you had a couple of touchdown passes dropped yesterday. Robbie Anderson didn't catch a ball and dropped the only one that was thrown his way.
And he also almost got decapitated at one point yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He did. But at this point, let's scrap that. Hey, trade deadline's coming up tomorrow. Maybe Robbie Anderson will find a new destination.
No, he won't.
You don't think so? All right, second hour coming your way. We'll talk college football. Our college football playoff rankings coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure spreading in as we go through the end of the weekend, and we're going to stay pretty quiet as we open up the month of November. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll drop it back to right around 42. Temperatures slightly on the higher side of average for the overnight. Early clouds mixing with the sun Monday, but then lots of sunshine later. 65 the high, mostly clear Monday night. Mostly sunny Tuesday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. When everyone on your gift list matters most, Lowe's can help you make more holiday. Save $20 on a Craftsman 20-volt max drill kit. Was $79, now $59. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last. Valid 10/28 through 2/2, U.S. only.
Shh! Can you hear that? That's right, it's the time of year when leather-clad elves jump on their still steeds in support of Santa and Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Saturday, November 6th, their 41st year, they ride for the kids. The granddaddy of North Carolina toy runs, the Smoky Mountain Toy Run. Participants gather at the Kier-Falk Corporation parking lot near Black Mountain starting at 10 a.m. and the parade departs for downtown Asheville at 1 p.m. Get more info at SmokyMountainToyRun.com.
The free iHeart app has a radio station just for you. No, really, My Favorites Radio is tailored to fit you and only you. The only songs that play are the ones that you thumbed up, along with the biggest songs on the stations you listen to most. My Favorites Radio combines all your favorite music into one amazing station. Download the free iHeart app now and start tapping thumbs up on the songs, artists, and stations you like. Plus, you can even share the station with all your friends, just to prove your superior musical tastes. Favorites Radio, only on iHeart. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, developing story. Titans running back Derrick Henry will have surgery on his injured foot and is expected to miss the rest of the season, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. If it turns out that Henry's season is indeed over, so is the Titans, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
It's a wrap because all of a sudden you're not getting ready to strike fear in my defense with Tannehill, a banged up Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown. You're not going to throw the ball all over the lot and get away from what you are your foundation is a running team setting up the pass.
Titans are signing free agent Adrian Peterson to the practice squad with the expectation that he will be added to the active roster. Saints quarterback Jameis Winston with a torn ACL out for the season. Coach Sean Payton would not elaborate whether Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian becomes the starter. The Saints do not plan on bringing in a new QB. The Rams adding reinforcement to a defense that's experienced a slight decline from last season. LA finalizing a trade to acquire linebacker Von Miller from the Broncos for a second and third round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, reports Schefter.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword WORK to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's WORK to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
Second hour of the Sportsocracy brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And, of course, you can watch us live now on YouTube. Join us now. Subscribe to the channel. Jump into the chat. It's the best way to instantly engage with not only us, but also with our fine fan audience that is on the YouTube stream. We have fun twice a day, every day, and you can join the party there. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. We had some fun this afternoon. We went over and hung out with our guys down at Wicked Weed Brewing at the Brew Pub.
I always love when it's new beer day.
Oh,
that's a tremendous day.
Say, hey, you guys need to check out these new beers that we have. Okay. Pineapple Express. I'm all the way in. And by the way, I found out that Lieutenant Dank used his GI Bill today, and he's now Dr. Dank. Yeah, so who knew? Anyway, if you haven't been by the Wicked Weed Brew Pub or any of the other 3 locations around the Asheville area, go by, stop by, check them out. Try all of the new creations that they have there. Get you some Wicked Weed swag as well. And don't forget to try the food. Oh, my gosh. I had a bison burger. The bison burger at the brew pub. So good. It's got bacon jam. It's got the pimento cheese on top. Oh,
I've never gotten away from the pub burger. I literally get the same thing every time I go there.
Oh, the double pub burger.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Had a little Caesar salad with it. It was healthy. It had the good for you, had the bad for you. Just to find it just works.
Yeah, salad counteracts all of the red meat that you're ingesting.
That's
at
fine.
least in your book.
I'll be fine.
At least in your book. The college football playoff rankings, the first of the year, will come out tomorrow. And, of course, we'll take our opportunity to jump the shark here and give you our college football playoff rankings over the next little bit here in the Sportsocracy. Yes, the Georgia Bulldogs, once again, it was the only thing that I had to, wave my flag about this weekend in football.
Why could that be?
Because the stupid New Orleans Saints and Tom Brady and just
Trevor Siemian.
Ugh, gross. How do you lose that game? Anyway.
They did. Aggressively.
They did.
We all knew when Brady got the ball back, he's going to throw the touchdown that wins this game.
And he did.
He did. It just went past him, not in front of him.
It went to the other team. That's right. So I didn't have a whole lot to celebrate, except for the Georgia Bulldogs winning the showdown with Florida this weekend. They are the unanimous number one team in the country. In the AP and in the coaches poll, there's no way anybody can look at any other team and say, yep, that's the number one team.
They almost shut Florida out.
Yeah.
Do you realize Florida's only been shut out one time in my lifetime?
I did not know that.
The last time they were shut out was in 1988.
Wow.
I was a year old.
Mm-hmm. I was really hoping that we'd be able to shut them out, but, you can't really, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Just take the win.
Kirby wanted the shutout too, and he was rather perturbed when they scored. All right, so we've done our combined college football playoff ranking.
Combined?
Because you and I had the same ranking. So.
Oh, okay.
Everybody always says, "What are yours?" Because I'm the one that does the graphics.
Right.
It's hard for me to read his mind, and we don't usually talk about it. This time we did. It just so happens to be the exact same.
The exact same power ranking. All right, so the college football playoff rankings, according to the Sportsocracy, should be Georgia number one.
No, wait, it didn't go the other way.
We'll go the other way.
I mean, one, I think everybody already knew.
Everybody knows the top two, so I was just saying that.
No,
anyway,
they don't necessarily know the other two.
All right, so number 10. We went all the way to 10 on this one. It is the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
They're the only chance the ACC has.
And it's not a good one.
Okay, define not a good one.
Okay, you run the table. Okay, you're probably still going to miss the playoff.
I don't know that I agree with you. And there's a reason that I say that.
Okay, well.
When we get up into who's actually in the playoff, I'll tell you why I say that.
Okay. I mean, sure, Wake Forest has been scoring a lot of points. Get it. Wonderful.
This extended RPO is really good.
Right, but you've been beating up on teams that don't really matter in the grand scheme of college football.
You're still in a Power 5 conference. You're still beating up on teams that's who's put in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Be really honest with yourself. Is the ACC not equivalent to the Pac-12 right now? Yeah, it is. If Oregon goes undefeated the rest of the way, do you not think they get in? Because they most likely do.
Oh, no doubt.
There you go.
No
then
doubt.
Why is it so out of the realm of possibilities that Wake Forest does the same thing?
Okay, because Wake Forest won't have that one victory that everybody can look at and go, "Oh, you did beat Ohio State." Wake Forest doesn't have that. Wake Forest has Old Dominion, Norfolk, Florida State, Virginia, Louisville, Syracuse, Army, Duke. That doesn't scare anybody.
No, but if you the last four on the schedule, you still have to go to Carolina, to Clemson, to Boston College, and you got to beat NC State.
Mm-hmm.
If, and this is a big if, if Wake Forest runs the table in the ACC, they would end up probably playing Pittsburgh in the ACC title game. They'll make the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why when we get up into the top five. They run the table. They will make this playoff. You mark my words that I said that.
So this Saturday, Wake Forest plays against Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It is a non-conference game.
Which is stupid.
Which is very stupid.
This is the second story you've now told me in this show that, hey, NCAA, tell me you're not run well, and without telling me you're not run well. That's two.
Right. Anyway, they didn't fit on the schedule, and they said, well, we can't go 7 years without playing each other, which is how the ACC schedule would have worked. So they said, fine, we'll just schedule non-conference games. So this is technically a non-conference game this week at Chapel Hill. Do you know what the line is on that game? I've got it in front of me.
The line on Carolina Wake Forest?
Yep.
If I was setting it, it'd be Wake Forest minus 9.5. What?
You were wrong at Wake Forest. North Carolina is a 2.5-point favorite at home against number 10 Wake Forest.
I'm just going to keep doing that until you stop talking.
Over
because
under.
That is dumb to dumb to dumb dumb dumb.
Over under.
$1.5 billion.
Yeah.
74.
You're close. 75.5 is the over under for this one. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that working out. I wouldn't take Carolina to cover if I were you.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. I just find that baffling. That Wake Forest is
surprising to me.
Wake Forest is the ACC's last hope. Okay, well, they're a dog on the road to an unranked team.
Yeah, and
come on.
You got to be careful. I'm just telling you, especially in college football, especially with teams that don't get a lot of eyeballs, you got to be really careful with that because Vegas misses lines on small schools. And at the end of the day, Wake Forest is still a small school. This is still a school that I promise you they're not putting their best people on.
Right.
And look, you can tell me Carolina wins this game by 20. I'm still going to tell you that's a bad line.
Wake Forest is number 10 on our college football playoff ranking, though, because, again, strength of schedule. It has to matter.
It does. If they go through a Power 5 conference undefeated and then win their conference title, they're going to end up in the playoff. And there's a very specific reason for that.
That we'll get to in a second. Okay. Number 9 is Notre Dame.
Who has no shot of getting in the playoff. No. You are the definition of a placeholder. I mean, somebody's got to be at 9, and it might as well be Notre Dame. There's nothing overly good about that team. I didn't find them to be crazy impressive against Carolina. I mean, I thought it was fine. It went about how you would expect it to. But I'm still not jumping up and down about Notre Dame.
And nor should anybody be. And there again, strength of schedule matters. You beat Wisconsin, okay. You lost to Cincinnati. And that, while Cincinnati's ranked number 2 in the country. Yeah, for now. Just wait till those college football playoff rankings come out and find out where the masterminds in college football have them. I will be shocked if they're in the top 4 tomorrow when the college football playoff ranking comes out.
Who?
Cincinnati.
Oh, they won't be. Oh, right. I mean, we'll talk about them when we get to them, but I promise you they're not going to be.
But, I mean, that's the one loss on Notre Dame's schedule, and I feel like everybody looks at it and still goes, yeah, you shouldn't have lost that.
You shouldn't have lost that. They're not that good. They struggled with Tulane. By the way, Cincinnati, if you really want to get in this, you should probably stop struggling with teams that nobody's seen play all year.
You rag on me when I say things like style points matter.
Style points matter in college.
This case,
they don't matter at all in the NFL.
Oh, no.
No, I rag on you when you say it in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
In college, you should win by 90. If you play a bad team like that, you keep scoring until you can't score anymore because they will use it against you.
Right. And Cincinnati can't do it. They're just not physically capable, I don't think.
Number 8 is where the pandalarium of how I think this season goes starts.
At Michigan?
Michigan's our 8. I'm calling the shot now. Michigan's going to beat Ohio State.
Oh,
and it will throw everything into chaos.
What makes you think they're going to beat Ohio State?
Because Ohio State's good. They're just very inconsistent. And I have this weird feeling C.J. Stroud seems to be – he has a clunker in him. And I have just this weird feeling that it's going to be against Michigan. I told you Vegas has been on Michigan forever.
Mm-hmm. Michigan losing.
It didn't change much with them losing to Michigan State.
Right. Michigan losing to Michigan State this past week. That brings them down in the pecking order. Obviously, Michigan State rises in the college football playoff ranking. For the
disaster,
anyway.
The disaster theory for the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State loses to Ohio State. Ohio State loses to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you very easily could get left out. I don't see a path that no Big Ten team makes it.
No Big Ten team makes it.
You round robin it.
Oh, yeah.
You round robin it and nobody makes it. Because the problem is that Georgia and Alabama are both going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two spots that have been, I don't care what happens in the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less. Those two will make it.
Even if it's a blowout? Even if by some chance it ended up being, 38-3. Either way, Alabama or Georgia.
Like that.
Okay.
It would have to be like that.
I would say you're right. If it's a one-score game, I don't see a path where both of those teams don't get in. So Michigan is number 8. At number 7, it's the Oregon Ducks.
And this is the team this is another team that could really upset the apple cart. Because I don't know who they're going to lose to.
Mm-hmm.
This team goes undefeated. You still have probably the best win on the board. I mean, Michigan State's is close with Michigan. Oregon beating Ohio State's going to be right up there.
Mm-hmm.
They went out, they probably make it. Now, the question is, do they do that? And they're horribly inconsistent. Their good is good. Their bad is not great.
Right.
So I still look at them and go, there could be a loss in there somewhere.
For Oregon?
Yeah.
They got Washington, Washington State, Utah, and Oregon State left in the 4 regular season games. And then they've got the conference championship game that will end up being Arizona State probably.
Who looked terrible last week.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give you a, hey, this is the one I think they're going to lose.
Right. But you just think they're going to trip up at some point.
I just see there's so many moving pieces here. The offense is really inconsistent. Losing C.J. Verdell, losing Troy Dye. It's just, okay, like there's just so many moving pieces here that I'm like, this team has letdown game written all over it.
Right. At number 6 in our college football playoff rankings.
Yeah, here's the team I'm the most confident will not make it in the playoff no matter what happens.
It's the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care that you're undefeated. You got that one win over Notre Dame. That's the only thing that you have to really hang your hat on. And you're just not putting away the smaller teams like you should.
Yeah, I'm the thing with Cincinnati is if you're going to be the first group of 5 team to break into the playoff,
mm-hmm.
you got all the advantages because you started much higher than most of them do. Problem is that you're not impressive.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about this team that's overly impressive. The defense is good. You have 2 guys that are probably first-round picks. One on defense, and then obviously Desmond Ridder, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm still just not overly impressed. You know, you had one game that really could have been a resume builder. It wasn't overly impressive, and they have done you no favors. They're the team I'm the most confident that there's nothing that could happen.
I'd agree. You got one more game, one more kind of prove-it game, but it's not even that because it's just having that affiliation with a smaller conference. No one's ever going to give you your due when you have teams that are running the table in the SEC, the Pac-12, any of the Power 5 conferences, week in and week out.
Well, nobody's running the table in the Pac-12. Everybody has a loss.
Well, I get that. But what I'm saying is every other year, it doesn't matter. Whatever conference you're in, if you're in a Power 5 conference and you're running the table, which we seem to always have, 3 do, they're always going to have that over you. And your wins are just not going to be worth as much. I'm sorry. Okay, even if you went out there and just beat the snot out of SMU in a couple of weeks.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's the anchor that has always been weighing on all of these programs from the Mountain West with Boise State and the AAC with Cincinnati and Houston and UCF, and you need to align yourself with a big conference. Cincinnati needs to find their way into the Big Ten or something before they can even think about being in a college football playoff before the expansion. Now the expansion comes, obviously they're going to have a role there. Oklahoma is our number 5. They're fine.
When I made this graphic originally, it said Joklahoma, and that is the greatest Freudian slip ever.
Joklahoma.
Because I don't buy Oklahoma at all.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be this bad defensively and this inconsistent offensively. If they make it, it's solely attrition, and I'm telling you right now, they would end up playing Georgia, and they would get beat by 50.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia would beat them senseless. And please stop with the Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman thing. Can we stop that? Because that's absolutely ridiculous.
No shot?
No shot.
I mean, come on, you had to throw for over 400 yards and 5 touchdown passes.
And he will have started 5 games.
Hot.
It's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard people say out loud, and I'm hearing it a lot.
Right.
If you voted for him over Bryce Young, I swear to you, they should take your Heisman vote away.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that. If you vote for him over Jordan Davis, over Bryce Young, over Kenneth Walker, they should take your Heisman vote away because you're not smart enough to have one, period.
Mm-hmm. You got to play the full season?
It's dumb. I think he had like 100 snaps in the first 7 games. That's stupid.
Right. Something to be said, though, for a guy who comes in and rights the ship.
Nothing to be said for that. There is nothing to be said for that. It is stupid. It is dumb talk. And the fact that every entity keeps doing it is just infuriating to me.
I don't know. You got an Oklahoma team that's struggling. Caleb Williams comes in. They start blowing out teams by 30. I can see
it would
the
be
argument.
one thing if there was nobody deserving.
Agreed.
I can give you 10 that are more deserving than him.
So you'd go Kenny Pickett all day before Caleb Williams.
I'd go Kenny Pickett ahead of Caleb Williams.
Okay. I just use that example.
After Saturday, if Kenneth Walker's not your one, you're doing it wrong. Point blank. You are doing it wrong.
Well, I'm glad you finally came around to my side.
Well, I have a take on that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did I come around to your side? Well, yeah, I kind of did, but don't necessarily know that I will be staying on your side.
All right, we will continue the discussion coming up next because we haven't talked about Kenneth Walker's team yet as we get into the top 4 of our college football playoff rankings here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure spreading in as we go through the end of the weekend, and we're going to stay pretty quiet as we open up the month of November. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll drop it back to right around 42. Temperatures slightly on the higher side of average for the overnight. Early clouds mixing with the sun Monday, but then lots of sunshine later. 65 the high. Mostly clear Monday night. Mostly sunny Tuesday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the French Broad River. Construction in the stretch. Sweden Creek Road southbound, stop and go after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, a few light delays. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road, traffic is slow. Checking the drive time, 240 westbound between Tunnel Road and I-40. Drive time 8 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his kickball team from 2011. Looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Life is already full of surprises, but your tuition shouldn't be one of them. While education costs rise in the U.S. every year, University of Phoenix is committed to protecting you from rising tuition costs with our tuition guarantee. We lock in your tuition so you can count on fixed, affordable tuition from the moment you enroll to the day you graduate from your program. Learn more at phoenix.edu.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Welcome, everybody, into the YouTube stream, as well as, we're simulcasting now, so where you can see our lovely faces. We've been talking about all the things going on in the NFL today. We had the big trade, Von Miller going to the LA Rams from the Denver Broncos. Derrick Henry's going to have foot surgery. He'll be out for 8 weeks.
At least
8 weeks. And, of course, tomorrow the college football playoff rankings will be released. We'll have all of the coverage for you of that for you here in the Sportsocracy. But before those rankings come out, we're doing our very own. Just a rundown of where we've been in the top 10 of our college football playoff rankings. We had Wake Forest at 10, number 9, Notre Dame, number 8, Michigan, Oregon 7, Cincinnati 6, Oklahoma 5. So in the top 4, coming in at number 4, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I don't feel like you can have them any higher than that.
I don't either.
Solely because Michigan State has a better win.
Yep. Michigan State just beat Michigan. Ohio State, their best win is who?
Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and that doesn't look very good. More and more you see Penn State's offense, you go, I don't know.
Yeah, the only problem is that it was really good against Ohio State. That would be what's really unsettling to me. Is Sean Clifford look like a Heisman Trophy candidate against Ohio State for extended periods of time?
Which could very well end up being their downfall when they have to play, I don't know, Michigan?
That's the one I'm looking at. And I know a lot of people will tell me I'm crazy and Ohio State owns Jim Harbaugh.
They do.
They do. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. However, it's at the Big House. And this is the first time I feel like Michigan has actually thought they could win this game in an extended period of time.
Right.
That will be a madhouse.
It will be.
Especially if what I think happens, and Ohio State beats Michigan State the week before.
Mm-hmm. Michigan State beating Michigan, though. I mean, those are the two games that you have to win every year as the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines.
First of all, that game was insane.
State.
I don't know how much of that you watched, but that was game of the weekend, and it wasn't even close.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic. By the way, Gus Johnson should have to call every high-end game from now on. My wife even looked at me and went, "That announcer is really good."
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's Gus. We like Gus.
Yep. But I mean, this has been the big knock on Jim Harbaugh since he's got to town. He hasn't gotten the job done against Ohio State, and he beat Michigan State once.
Yes. I think he's beaten them one time.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 10.
But here's the thing: that Michigan team is good. Mm-hmm. That pass rush is good.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden Hutchinson, that's a top 5 pick.
Yep.
Straight up. Pro Football Focus just did their mock draft. He went at 2.
Wow.
He's really, really, really good.
Really good. Ohio State, to me, right now, I can't put them above Michigan State because of the win. Because of Michigan State's win over Michigan. Ohio State, yes, you beat Penn State, but still, this is a very limited offensive team. And you let them put up 24. And I see that as a problem going down the stretch here, as you're going up against two teams that I feel like are far superior to Penn State in Michigan State and Michigan.
The one thing I will say is the thing that Michigan and Michigan State both do well is run the ball,
mm-hmm.
and that has been one thing that Ohio State has been very good at keeping you from doing.
Mm-hmm. But
it's just different. It's just those are two different teams. Having to play them back-to-back weeks, and the fact that you have to play them in the Big House.
I was going to say, but can they hold Kenneth Walker III down?
Plus, I am a huge fan of chaos. And that would be chaos.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely would. You round robin this thing out, as you said earlier, and it makes things very, very interesting for the committee.
Yeah, because I don't really know how you would. I don't know how you would rationalize it. Okay, the Big in my head, the way I would look at it is the Big Ten is the only other conference that can contend with the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
All three of the other Power 5 conferences are down. So a team is going to have to get in from the Big Ten, no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins this conference is getting in. The only problem is that all three of the good teams are in the same division.
Right.
Oh, do you realize who would and it's going to go this way. Do you realize whoever wins the East, do you know they get in the title game?
It's not.
It's Minnesota.
I was going to say
row the boat.
I was going to say it's not Wisconsin. Wisconsin's already got a couple of losses, don't they?
Wisconsin has to, or Minnesota just has to win out.
Yeah. Wow. And that's not going to be a statement game.
And the best team they play is Iowa. Thanks, Iowa. Finally believed in you for just a minute.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And dead. And dead, as Jeremy likes to say. All right, Michigan State is number 3. Kenneth Walker III is the real deal. I was saying this in the early stages of this season to the point where Jeremy got sick and tired of me saying Kenneth Walker Jr. or Kenneth Walker III.
He's very, very good.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns in the game this past weekend. Almost ran for 200 yards, and I don't see why he wouldn't get more love when it comes to the Heisman vote. He's just putting up stats like, he's
going to be there.
Right.
I mean, this is one of those years that I'm looking at this going, it's Bryce Young and it's Kenneth Walker, and Matt Corral is probably 3.
Mm-hmm.
But if they keep losing games, then I don't know who 3 is going to be.
Right. It's Caleb Williams.
He has 108 passes total. Stop.
Oh, that's funny.
Sean Clifford has thrown more passes in 3 games than Caleb Williams has thrown total.
Mm-hmm. To me, though, Michigan State has to be 3. And then you got the top 2. You got Alabama at 2. You got Georgia at 1. And that's the way it should be.
And there is a way, and I've seen this in the comments, and I feel like I have to address this. After Weird News, there is a way that Alabama with 2 losses gets in.
All right. We'll explain it up next.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, And there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right. Taylor Davis is a woman from the Atlanta area. And back in July, she suffered a head injury. And she goes to the local hospital and she sits in the ER. And she registers and everything, gives her social security number and all of that, or her insurance information. And she waits. And she waits. And she waits. She sat in the ER for 7 hours. And no one ever came to take her temperature. No one ever called her number. No one ever came to get her vitals or any of that stuff. So what did she do? What would you do? You've been sitting there with a head injury. I don't know if you're concussed or how badly you're bleeding. Maybe you stuck a Band-Aid on it good enough. 7 hours. And figured, well, I think the danger's gone. She got up and left. And I don't know that I'll blame her. I think I would have done the same thing. I'm a very impatient person. So she sat in the Emory Decatur Hospital ER for 7 hours. And as the weeks went by, obviously she moved on with her life, and then all of a sudden she goes to the mailbox one day and opens up a letter from Emory Decatur Hospital. She opens up, she got a bill. She got a bill from the ER for $700. Oh, wait.
For what exactly?
Yeah,
For
exactly.
using your chair?
I did not know this. And I don't know if this is a thing with other hospitals around the country or what. Regardless of if you have been seen or not, you can be charged what they call a facilities fee. Just for showing up and just for registering your information at the front desk. Regardless if you ever get seen. She had a $700 facilities fee charged to her by the ER that she never got seen in. Of course, this has become a thing down in Atlanta now of the hospital having to do damage control of figuring out oh no, now people know. I just wanted to throw it out there for those of you who, if you have to go to the hospital, you might want to check. You might want to check your statements and see if you get dinged up for this facilities fee. Now, if you get seen, okay, charge me the fee. But I'm not walking into an ER and sit there for 7 hours. You could charge me $100 an hour for sitting there? Screw you.
I have only been in a hospital one time in my life.
But fumble night?
Yeah.
But fumble
in terms of an ER. I've only been to the ER once.
Yeah.
And it's because I had a roofing nail go through my foot. And
Yikes.
yes, it is every bit as painful as it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to get a tetanus shot.
Yeah. But
that wasn't pleasant.
Obviously this smacks to a larger issue now of course, this woman is like, I don't care what happens to me in the future. I'm not going back to a hospital, which don't do that, by the way. If you need to go to the hospital, go to the hospital. I just thought it was weird that she didn't get seen and they still charge her $700 for showing up there.
Yeah, I have a rule about hospitals. It has to be something that I can't fix myself. If duct tape can't fix it, then I'll go to the hospital.
Right.
If I can tape it up and just move on and eventually it will just heal itself,
right.
We're probably good.
Right. Now, the hospital has said they're going to follow up with her individually. I have a feeling they're going to make this go away. Just wanted to throw it out there for you.
My story comes from Hollywood, Florida. Who's shocked that Hollywood, Florida has a block party called the Hollyweird Party?
Nope, not at all.
That sounds very Florida to me. A woman named Kat Uden was apparently told what she could and could not wear to this party. It's a costume party.
I don't like where this is going.
The police, local police, told her not to wear her costume.
Okay.
It was of a condo, and it said no condo. She was dressed as a building, and there was a sign in the front that said no condo. Because apparently they are trying to sell oceanfront property that currently has a park, and she is morally opposed to this. And so this was her little form of protest.
Right.
First of all, I have to say this, and guess what? Name's on the door, so I can.
Yeah.
I will never, for the life of me, understand how people go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go take a sign, and I'm going to hold it, and I think that's going to actually do something. I will never understand that thought process in my entire life.
Agreed.
If you want to do it, you do you. I do not know what you think that's going to do, but apparently in Hollywood, Florida.
Especially when it's just one of you. Like, I understand if you're going by the thousands to stop this condo thing from being
if you've
built
got
in the
a throng
neighborhood.
of people,
Exactly.
a whole lot of people can do a lot of things.
Exactly.
One person all by the lonesome, well, that's a cute sign you got there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mosey on about my day now.
Why does Abraham Simpson screaming at clouds pop up in my mind?
Apparently, she still wore this costume to the party. There is no update on whether she was arrested, which they threatened her that she would. Don't do crimes because you have to have a permit to protest in Hollywood, Florida. She didn't pull a permit because it was for a costume party.
Mm-hmm.
The police told her, don't do that. Well, you did it anyway. So I'm going to assume the end of this story was, and she was later arrested. Because they told her you would be arrested.
That's interesting. That walks that fine line between protest or political statement being made with a Halloween
it's all
costume.
the same thing.
It's not.
It's all the same thing.
It's not, though. And I mean, if she were impeding traffic or something like that, then okay. All right.
Cool.
I know.
I see. These are the kind of parties I wish I got invited to so I could just walk up and go, your costume doesn't make any sense. And I just walk on about my business.
Your costume is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I am? Forrest Gump. You know who knows that?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of costumes, now is the time. Now is the time to buy a costume. You say, wait, Tank. Yesterday was Halloween. I know, but you can already start planning for next year because our good friends down at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall parking lot, they are open today. They are open tomorrow. And guess what? The entire stock of Halloween stuff, 50% off. So why not go ahead and get an early jump on next year and take advantage of the savings down at Halloween Express. The Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall parking lot. We love those guys. Robbie's a great friend, great supporter of the Sportsocracy, and you should be a great supporter of Robbie's and the Halloween Express as well. So again, today and tomorrow, all Halloween stock, remaining inventory, 50% off the regular price. Just today and tomorrow. They are open until 6 o'clock tomorrow. They're already closed for today. Tomorrow they will be open from 10 to 6. Big Orange Tent, Asheville Mall parking lot. Hit them up each and every year. They are there. All right. So, college football playoff.
Yeah, we're to 1 and 2.
We're down to 1 and 2.
Yeah, shocker. It's Georgia and Alabama. They are the best two teams in the country, and anyone that disputes that does not know what they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
There is no argument that these are not the two best teams in the country. Now, if Alabama loses another regular season game, okay, now you've lost your argument.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose to Georgia, I hate to break the hearts and hurt the feelings of Ohio State fans. Yeah, they still get in over you. Point blank, they still get in over you.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, they still get in over you. Cincinnati, they still get in over you. They do.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually why we do this. This is the reason we don't go to the BCS formula anymore, because it's stupid. Eyeball test to the best team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's them in Georgia. 1-2. Not close. If their only other loss is to Georgia, there is nothing anybody can do about it. Now, could that set you up to where you have Georgia and Alabama in the semifinal? Yeah. But every other one of these teams is flawed. A Big Ten team is going to get in.
I think that they would set it up to where Alabama's 4. One of those teams would be 3.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
I said it would probably end up with Alabama as the 4, which is not really what I want to see.
Right.
But it is what it is.
You want to see them on opposite sides of the bracket, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I do. And there's really not a game left in this season that I could actually see Alabama losing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fun question for me is, what happens if they beat Georgia in the SEC title game? Now we have a fun discussion of seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you definitively what mine would be.
Alabama be 1.
Not for me.
Really?
Nope. That's Georgia's only loss. You're still 1.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
That would be my vote, and I'll be honest with you, that's probably why they'll never allow me in the room, because I would be very loud and very vocal about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can have that. If Alabama wins the SEC, they would be number 1. Now that would be Alabama 1, Georgia 2, and then you have 3 and 4. Then they meet for the national championship game.
And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's one solution. I look at the rest of their schedule. They play LSU this week. That's not going to go well.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play New Mexico State, Arkansas, and Auburn. So they will walk away from this schedule with wins over Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Auburn, and Arkansas for whatever that's worth at this point.
It still matters.
And Miami. And yay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better resume than any other team's going to have.
Except for Georgia.
Except for Georgia.
That's
a better resume, and that is what they have screamed from the mountaintops. That's what matters.
Right.
Okay, and a Big Ten team gets in ahead of them. It's fine. Okay, you won the conference. Yeah, let's say it's Ohio State, you'll have wins over Michigan State, Michigan, and not much else. Penn State, that's 3. I got news for you. That Alabama schedule, markedly better. Markedly better.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, what is their best win? Really look up and down that schedule and go, who have they beaten that's even good? I'm not even talking about, that's a good win. Who have they beaten that is not dreadfully bad?
I mean, Texas is not dreadfully bad. Really?
They're bad. They're bad. Bad.
I mean, they're not.
They're 4-4.
They're not Kansas.
They're 4-4, and guess what? They may not make a bowl game because I'm looking at 3 games they could still lose.
They're not Kansas bad.
No.
Who Oklahoma struggled with, by the way,
for an extended period of time.
Right. I mean, that's going to be a knock on them.
I have a funny feeling that Oklahoma is going to take care of themselves because they end the schedule at Baylor, Iowa State, at Oklahoma State. That is 3 losable games for them.
Yes.
And with a freshman quarterback, I have a funny feeling that this problem is going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's where it could get fun. What happens if they lose?
If Oklahoma loses?
And now there's no one from the Big 12. That conference is completely irrelevant.
Well, if Oklahoma loses, then that opens the door, I would say, for 2 Big Ten teams. I think it swings the door wide open for an undefeated ACC champion if Oklahoma loses.
And I would agree with that.
I mean, because I think it's already a given. You can rubber stamp it that Georgia and Florida or Georgia, Alabama, they're going to be in the playoff.
I would agree with that.
Because their schedule's just, I mean, you look at Georgia's schedule left, and they got Missouri and Charleston Southern and Georgia Tech, and there's another one that I'm forgetting, but it's something along those lines of never in a million. Like this weekend, they're favored by 38.5. Georgia is.
Yeah.
So.
And you're going to continue to do that.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing left on that schedule that's really a challenge for either of these teams. So they're locked in. And I would think at that point.
Big Ten champion gets in, and then what? If you take Oklahoma out, it gets really difficult in a hurry.
Oregon?
That's where I think it would go.
Yeah.
It's either Oregon or Wake Forest. If Wake Forest wins out, it's them because they will be an undefeated Power 5 conference champion. If not, all Oregon has to do is win out. And the loser of the Big Ten will not get in.
Right.
Because unless it's Michigan State, they're going to have 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan State probably would have 2 losses. But from there, now you're just, okay, and I like how somebody said this in the comments. This is a lot like the election system. There's 2 candidates that really matter, and then there's a whole lot of other people.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of where college football's at.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 teams. That is all we care about. Because I will level with you. I do not care who gets in. Doesn't matter to me. Don't care how they meet. Don't care how they do anything. When they meet Alabama or Georgia, they're going to be a 20-plus point dog.
Mm-hmm.
The only team that would beat that would be Ohio State, and I still think they'd get slaughtered.
Mm-hmm. They do anyway.
And so, if you don't think that this selection committee knows that, you're kidding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alabama wouldn't get in with 2 losses. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. Because if they don't, there's really no reason to even do this. Because Georgia will beat everybody else by 3 scores.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that. At the end of the day, this is still a business. And the reason that they have this committee is because they have the best interest of college football at heart. What is the best interest of college football? Alabama and Georgia on the opposite side of the bracket.
Yep.
They play in the national title game.
Yep.
Because you can watch those two just wood chip everybody else, knowing that they'll play each other. Then you get it again. Oh, we saw it in the SEC title game? As long as that game is even halfway competitive.
Yeah.
It'll happen again.
And it's going to be up to another level for the national championship. Like we saw, was that 3 years ago? 4 years ago? They played in the SEC championship and then played again in the national championship. It was the Baker Mayfield year. I know we beat Baker Mayfield in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that was a good day. That was a good day.
Yes, it was. Not so much for the national championship game.
That was not a good day for you.
No. It's that one hurdle Kirby Smart just can't get over. Beating Nick Saban.
They're without a doubt the best team in the country to me.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. And the only one that I think on their worst day could beat them would be Alabama.
And who knew? Who knew that they'd be doing it all with Stetson Bennett? Old cowboy hat Bennett, as Jeremy called him affectionately last year.
Old pea shooter. Ugh. By the way, he's a better Heisman candidate than Caleb Williams. By a considerable amount.
All right, that is our college football playoff rankings. Before they all come out tomorrow, I have a feeling you're going to see something very, very similar tomorrow. We will see Cincinnati. I will be surprised if they're any higher than 6.
I will too. The one I think you should watch is Wake Forest. Wake Forest is the one team I'm staring at going, they could be higher than people think.
Right.
Because you are undefeated and you would be a Power 5 conference champion.
Mm-hmm.
That has always mattered more than people think it should.
How high do you think they could debut?
7? How high could they be?
7?
I could see them as high as 6.
Okay.
I could see them ahead of Cincinnati. I could see them ahead of Oregon because Oregon has a loss.
Mm-hmm.
6 is probably the highest. I don't think they could be any higher than that, but I could see it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but it wouldn't stun me.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We got more news in the NFL. Unfortunately, one NFL player didn't have a great weekend. I'll give you the update on that story coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound light delays approaching Brevard Road. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic moving well and problem-free. In Haywood County, 40 eastbound near Harmondon Road. Highway Patrol reporting a crash here does have the shoulder closed. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road north and southbound in the Biltmore Forest area near Biltmore Forest Country Club, a few delays. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Make your holiday twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's. With everyday low prices on pre-lit artificial trees starting at $99 and Christmas lights at $298. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, valid 10/28 through 11/3.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Right back here in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on the Sportsocracy.com. It was a bad weekend for Malik Harrison, second-year linebacker. Remember, he was drafted by Baltimore out of Ohio State. He got shot yesterday. Thankfully, it's not it's not a bad injury. He got shot by he got hit by a stray bullet at a Halloween gathering in Cleveland. Thankfully, they said today it's not a serious injury. He's going to be back with the team doctors today. They're going to have it all reevaluated and decide what. That's just bad luck, man. Absolute bad luck to get hit by a stray bullet on your day off. And Jameis Winston.
It's official. It is
T's
a torn.
And P's, man.
Yeah, it's the ACL is torn, and that will be the end of his season.
That's no good. I hate it for the kid. It's one of those things we can talk all kinds of smack about, and that he deserves some of the ribbing that he has gotten, but nobody deserves to get hurt, especially in the way that he did. And now his season's done. And it looks like the season's going to be done as well for Danielle Hunter. I didn't even see this until
Torn
just a
pec.
second ago. He's got a torn pec.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Also something to keep an eye on, it does appear that there is a possibility that Kyler Murray will miss Sunday against the 49ers.
Okay.
They're saying it is a 1 to 3 week ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
But they're waiting for him to show up at the facility tomorrow. If the swelling has gone down, then they say he could play.
That's one of those, I'm just not pushing it. I'm not pushing it going up against San Francisco. I get it's a division game and you want to win.
I do not care.
Exactly.
See, that's one of those, especially with Colt McCoy sitting behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those where I go, you know what? There's nothing that he can do to play this week. Declare him out. Move on.
Yep.
No good can come of that.
We'll come up with the best game plan we possibly can to win this game. If we lose, we lose, and we roll on with a healthy Kyler at the end of the season.
I could argue there is no player in the NFL more important to their team than Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Have a great evening, everybody. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure spreading in as we go through the end of the weekend, and we're going to stay pretty quiet as we open up the month of November. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll drop it back to right around 42. Temperatures slightly on the higher side of average for the overnight. Early clouds mixing with the sun Monday, but then lots of sunshine later. 65 the high. Mostly clear Monday night. Mostly sunny Tuesday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Make your holiday twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's. With everyday low prices on pre-lit artificial trees starting at $99 and Christmas lights at $298. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, valid 10/28 through 11/3.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound light delays approaching Bavard Road. Captain Jeff Bourne Bridge, traffic moving well and problem-free. In Haywood County, 40 eastbound near Harmondon Road. Highway Patrol reporting a crash here does have the shoulder closed. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road north and southbound in the Biltmore Forest area near Biltmore Forest Country Club, a few delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.